As early as 2013, I can remember people saying this. They said, "You look like Shaggy from Scooby-Doo." I do not look like Shaggy from Scooby-Doo. Shaggy is like tall and skinny and lanky. Okay, well, he's got chin hair. He's got like, his hair is blonde and, okay, no, not that. His hair is all crazy and shaggy and, sort of. All right, well, he wears his shirts all baggy. Okay, fine, but his shirt is green. You guys, I think I'm Shaggy from Scooby-Doo, but that's not so bad, because you know what this means. Yes! Ultra Instinct Shaggy Kendo! Shaggy is the cowardly slacker fictional character from Scooby-Doo that we all know and love, who's now getting memed like crazy, but we're here to create him in Scribblenauts Unlimited today. It's gonna be amazing. Look, I was even wearing a Shaggy head right now. But anyway, I'm Dr. Kendo, and this is the Scribblenauts Unlimited Object Editor Commentaries. The first thing that you're gonna need to do is tap or click on this arrow right here in Capital City in Scribblenauts. Click Edit Object, and then just copy and paste it, size it around a bit, and throw it in the trash. That'll then put this piece that you saw on screen now on our left side box of recently used stamps. We're gonna be using this very soon on our Shaggy creation. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, start off with that source object of Aaron Large. He's one of the 5th cell members, which unfortunately means that you won't have access to him if you're playing on Mega Pack, and I don't believe that he's one of the ones in Scribblenauts Unmasked either. But fortunately, Unmasked players can usually find a torso as generic as this among the DC library of characters. We're gonna place down a new stamp for the series, the body of a sea goat, next for the baggy sleeves on his shirt. But I wanted to talk about Aaron Large real quick one last time. This is interesting to me. On the official Scribblenauts Unlimited fandom page for Aaron Large, it gives a description of what he looks like and all of that, but interestingly enough, the real Aaron Large actually commented on that page there and explained that he grew up in the woods and never wore shoes unless he was required to. He also describes being unsure if they actually were going to put him into the final game because he mentions that he was just on a temporary 3-month contract as an animator for the game, just to help them out and all of that. The more you know. But yes, for the Shaggy creation here, we're just going to be making his body as one object first, and we'll create the head separately, then attach the two. Tots was what we typed in to get those arms, then bodybuilder back arm piece is the start of some baggy pants. Combat boots will be his shoes, but not because he actually wears combat boots or anything, but because we want there to be that arch in the middle of them so that it looks like some of his shoes from Scooby-Doo. Then we'll take our little yellow line item from Capital City. It was called Change Me when you do edit it in the object editor as the source, so I guess we can name it that, but you know, it's that piece that we took from the very start of the episode's creation process. So that's his neck, and we'll have a hemisphere go down below that because Shaggy's shirt is kind of V-neck or goes low cut. I'll put a female beauty back arm painted the green color of the shirt behind that, which you can do if you want it to have that ruffled up baggy look where it's even going up in the back behind his neck. But then after we name our Shaggy here in Scribblenauts, we'll go into the properties editor, and this is where I like to read fun facts and background information about the characters that we create in this series. We do this almost every episode at this point, so let's do this for Shaggy. Real name being Norville Shaggy Rogers, actually. He's got a very unique and funny pattern of speech, which is most notable through his use of fillers, such as the word like and zoink, or combine them, like zoinks. He's the longtime best friend of the title character Scooby-Doo, and is often more interested in eating than solving mysteries. I can relate. But here's where creating him today comes into play. Really, we could just say he's become Ultra Instinct Shaggy because people made him undergo a transformation kind of like Ultra Instinct Goku, and like many memes, it begins to take a life of its own as it just spreads and spreads and spreads. At this point, it's all about Shaggy's power. There was actually a petition that got 340,000 or more signatures last I read at the time of this recording, and it was to get Shaggy in as DLC in Mortal Kombat 11, which has been somewhat newly announced again at the time of this recording. And yes, like my own intro here, people often used to say that I looked like Shaggy. This was back when I was with Necessary Gaming in 2012 and 2013. I always thought that was a little weird because I never really had heard that in my life before until then. But now that Shaggy's all epic and powerful in these memes, sure, I'll take it. After using a head as the source object, type in Siren, the monster, and take its front arm. We'll use that to cover most of the entire head source, and by the way, you will want to color that head the same kind of blondish color that we're going to use for his hair, in case any of it does show. That Siren arm piece is most of his head shape, which then we'll add a dog tail as the hair in the back with a telescope fish, all one word, bottom fin piece on the body before you get to the tail. That little fin part makes a good section of his hair fluff down on his face, both in front where we can see, and then later you can put it down again on the side behind his face, kind of to our right. Type in angel wings up next and paint the yellow blonde color too, and it'll be the bulk of his hair on the top of his head. Things will really start coming together once you get all the pieces down. This is just another one of those creations that's like this, where it seems like you'd say, geez, how are we ever gonna turn all this random stuff into Shaggy? But it just works. Dot was the white of his eyes and his ear, and then we'll type fawn, but it's spelled F-A-U-N, not like a deer fawn or anything. Use the back arm of the male fawn, and it's a decent stamp for his nose. Honestly, there are so many stamps to create any character, but when you isolate even one design feature of a character like this nose, there's just so many options that you could go with most of the time. Eyebrow, twice. You can paint all the way darkest to black. Then we will finish off his mouth with a half rest, twice, in between those two black eyebrow stamps. Half rest will be done as many times as you feel you can get his goatee going down there on his chin. And after that, we'll type in baboon and just take a piece of the tail, but not the very end tail part, the one where it connects the tail to its body. That's his eyebrow that we can see peeking out amidst his hair on his face a little bit. Now, anytime you create a head and a body separately in this game is because there's a limit to how many stamps you can put on any one created object, so this allows us to bypass that stamp limitation, and you'll just need to script your head object under the equipment tab in the properties editor to be worn on the face like glasses. Fill in that circle near the bottom of the screen, and you'll be good to go. So that's looking pretty good. We got his head here on the level. I just wore it myself, of course, as I was wearing in the beginning of this video, but look at this. We're gonna go ahead and connect them. Just you basically put the head into the hands of the body object. That is so close, except for we actually, that would be normal if we didn't want to see his neck. We do want to see his neck. Shaggy's all skinny and tall like that, so we actually do want to be sure and see his neck. Now, if you didn't want to go with that change me piece, you could create Shaggy like this as well and use a mutant, the back arm of a mutant, and take that to be his neck. And so basically, I'm just taking the green grids right here on that left side of the screen. You click that button to turn those on. There's a grid for the head. You move it around, and so we just moved it up and forward a bit, but I'm going to keep that yellow change me thing as his neck right there. So look at Shaggy. There he is. Our crazy creation. Oh my god, that's awesome. But if you've read the title, you know that there's more to see. So let's go ahead and jump into that right now. Although originally referred to as King Ghidorah in some English markets, we're now about to see the three-headed epic dragon known as King Ghidorah here in Scribblenauts. So let's get to this. I started out with a HYDRA as the source object. This makes a lot of sense because we've got the three heads there or whatever, so that's like fine and dandy. But the one thing about the HYDRA is the tail is going to be a little bit strange, so you are going to see what I'm talking about a little bit later on here. Notice, of course, we did actually move the HYDRA's body. You want to rotate it. I guess that would be rotating counterclockwise a little bit, and we got rid of the HYDRA's front legs, which would look like arms and all of that, but our King Ghidorah, again, people pronounce that name differently, we're gonna get into that in a second, but our King Ghidorah right here, taking shape, we got Leviathan. I'm gonna take this middle body piece of the Leviathan and use that not only for some, I guess we're gonna have like these spikes on it, and that'll be spikes that can run up and down his back, but you could use that same middle body piece of that Leviathan, make that Leviathan body be the tail, and we're gonna do it as both the closest tail part and the middle tail part, because as this is coming together, you're going to see that the tail is the HYDRA as our source object means that tail can be divided up into three sections when you've got these green grids turned on. Short spike row just went down after that eclair. Eclair does not have an E at the end. I don't know why I typed it like that, but anyway, a dartfish. We'll take that top dorsal fin of the dartfish, put that in there for some more spikeage on the end of that tail. Now, I don't think, I believe we're going to run out of stamp space, and I don't know what can be included and what can't just yet. This is obviously our first time creating Ghidorah right here, and I'm trying to do it all as one object. I'm not trying to make the head and the body separately. Anytime you can do that, it's great. I mean, it I guess saves you a little bit of extra work, but we do want to make these designs accurate, so, that's obviously very important, but I think we can do it all with just one object right here because the HYDRA has those three heads, three necks, all that stuff. Okay, there's the stamp limit reached, actually, which is fine. I think this is actually going to look okay because we got the dragon wings on there. We got that Allosaurus tail for some more spikeage there on the heads of Ghidorah, and I think now it's time to, of course, do some fun facts and background info about King Ghidorah, or is it pronounced Ghidorah? Well, we've heard its name said many different ways over many, many years. I grew up saying basically either Ghidorah or Ghidorah, so I think I kind of oscillate between those two pronunciations just based on how I'm feeling. But anyway, his origins actually vary from film to film, but what I think we should talk about is that he's seen to have a lot of different powers or abilities over the years too. So we have to pick and choose here in Scribblenauts Unlimited, since it is kinda limited actually. Ghidorah can do a meteorite attack, lightning from the wings or from its bite, hurricane-level winds from its wings, gravity beams, and just so much more. It's insane. We'll do a lightning bolt basically as an extra projectile when we get it into the scripting here in Scribblenauts. After he loses or gains health, he'll shoot it. But you know what's going on right here? We've got our Godzilla creation from the last Scribblenauts episode that was aired pretty recently ago. Godzilla right here, King of the Monsters style, with Ghidorah, King of the Monsters style. Yes, see how weird it kind of looks when we have it flying? Like the tail's just like hanging down super low. And of course, because we have two tails on there mapped to one tail piece for the HYDRA, you can see that they kind of come apart a little bit. You're just gonna have to ignore this. This is Scribblenauts Unlimited. It's how things work. That was so weird. Look, I just discovered that when I ride this thing, I'm riding on the back of Ghidorah, but like I'm hidden. You can't even see me. Kendo Shaggy, Shaggy Kendo, whatever. But you know what? I think we gotta get to what everybody's hoping would happen, right? Yes, that is right. Let's go ahead and add an adjective to our Ghidorah. We do need to make them huge, by the way. Actually, we're gonna go with gigantic. So I'm gonna add that to our Godzilla here as well. They need to be even bigger than this, honestly. Even if you did them the biggest they can be in Scribblenauts and then add the adjective, they still probably wouldn't be taller than these buildings right here, which is unfortunate. But anyway, it's the world of Scribblenauts. It's, you know, things don't have to be exactly the same. I was actually wondering why they're not fighting. Okay, there we go. We do have them locked in combat now. Ghidorah we made to be hostile. We gave it that adjective so that they would fight. And you can see actually Godzilla shooting out that atomic breath. It actually does start as a blue, fireball in Scribblenauts Unlimited, but it is atomic breath there. That's what it's supposed to represent. Godzilla actually gonna be beaten here, it looks like. I think he got an unfair hit in early off, so we're gonna give round one to King Ghidorah, who is taking actually damage from being on fire like that. So let's see, round two, ladies and gentlemen. Godzilla, why running away scared? Oh god, I tried to get Godzilla back onto I made him ride on Ghidorah. This is so weird. Look, I'm just trying to make you guys fight. Don't you want to fight each other? Okay, there we go. It looks like Godzilla, King Ghidorah, they are now engaged in battle. So let's see, round two. Who is gonna win this? I'm going for Godzilla, man. I always love Godzilla, although King Ghidorah, probably my favorite of the other monsters and whatnot, even between Mothra, Rodan, all of them. Ghidorah's amazing. I had a toy of Ghidorah back in my days. I did have a Godzilla toy, but it was like the old school green one. I had more of a, I would say recent, but in the 90s of King Ghidorah. And it looks like he's actually on that last heart. Boom! Ghidorah goes down. Godzilla gonna take that victory. Yes, our savior, Godzilla, has done it again. He beat the Fortnite characters in that last one. I'm sure a lot of you guys are happy if you hate Fortnite and whatnot in our last episode of Scribblenauts. Check this out. I command thee, Godzilla. This is amazing. So, oh hey, there's our Garmadon and the Shark Mech, but I wanted to grab actually and put Shaggy here. Shaggy taking control of Godzilla. Why are they walking just like endlessly that way? Come on. Okay, yeah, I guess Shaggy just wanted to go that direction, but whatever. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think there's only one thing left that we should do. We should prove Shaggy, okay, yeah, he totally can't ride on Ghidorah the normal way. Like, you could see his arm a little bit back there when we made him ride, but you really can't see most of him, just like when I was clicking to ride on it. So here, we'll make Ghidorah become hostile, and then you know what? Shaggy adds the adjective of powerful, and I think he's gonna need the immortal adjective, because I don't believe that he would actually beat King Ghidorah without that, so you can actually see him hitting Ghidorah like crazy right now. And who's gonna win this? Shaggy doing a lot of damage, of course, not taking any because he is Ultra Instinct and Immortal. We really should create a different Shaggy, I think. I might show that on screen right here, just in case you guys want to give him like a different look that makes him look all transformed and Goku-like, but Ultra Instinct Shaggy version. So there, we've all learned how to create these Scribblenauts characters, and guess what? You've only seen me use like 1% of my power. I don't know how it would mathematically actually convert out to, but what I'm saying is you've only watched one video right now, unless you are a subscriber for a long time. Okay, I'm saying that if you want to, and if you're new around here, please subscribe, check out this series. We've got over 300 videos in this one. We upload every single Sunday morning. Please request who you want to see created next in this game. Most popular, most requested will get created, and you can actually see how we created Godzilla by clicking on the end screen. Please check it out. And I will catch you guys on the next vid.
And thanks for viewing.
Down the road on Twitter.